Welcome to the mic, Chloe Kent from Kent. It's time to be frank, it's time to vent. From mental health to parental death, where the humour is dark as she's bereft. There'll be tears and there'll be laughter, and of course there'll be talk about those pyjamas. So pull up a seat, you're in the front row now. Turn down the lights, it's time to get the Chloe down. Let's get the Chloe down.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Get the Chloe Down with me, Chloe Kent. And on the 12 days of CHLOEMAS, I am joined by another author. So if you've been listening, you'll know that very recently I was chatting away to Tilly Cole, and today I'm so excited to have Claire Douglas here. So, hi Claire.
Hi, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. I was really, really surprised and very happy when you said you'd come on.
Oh, definitely. I love this sort of thing. It's fun.
Whereabouts? You're down south, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm in Bath.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes, yeah. It's been rain. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but it's been raining like really badly all day, like horrendous. Just really boring. You can't do anything.
That's why I was asking actually, because it is so windy here and so rainy.
Where are you?
So I'm in Norfolk now. I used to live in Kent,
Right.
but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
moved to Norfolk, and yeah, I swear it's windier here though. I don't know how that works out, but it definitely feels
Really?
like it is. Yeah.
It feels like it's rainy in Bath. Like I used to live in London, and that didn't seem quite as rainy. But we moved to Bath, and it just always seems to rain quite a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Just good old English weather, I suppose.
I
You
know.
know.
It's awful.
So I feel like everyone's going to know who you are at this point, but just in case someone's tuned in and they're not quite sure, please just like let everyone know roughly like what sort of genre do you write and a few of your
Yes.
books.
Okay, so I write psychological thrillers. I've written, well, I'm on my 12th, so I started out in 2015. So yeah, so 10 years now. So my recent book was The New Neighbours, and then my sort of books, those were bigger books have been The Wrong Sister and The Couple at Number 9. Yeah, and The New Neighbours came out this year.
Excited. Yeah, so The Couplet Number 9 was actually the one that I first read.
Oh.
And I loved it so much. Do you know, it was when you're talking about like going back, I don't want to run it too much just in case anyone's obviously going to be like, oh, I'm going to read that. So I'm not going to give too much away, but I love how well you like described where they are. I could feel like this old school vibe, like, you know, and I could even feel the weather when I was
Oh.
reading it and how cold it was. And I loved that I didn't know how it was going to end. It wasn't something that I was particularly able to guess, and then so I was pleasantly surprised, but also I didn't realize I was going to cry at the end.
Oh, that makes me feel good. I'm glad. I know
Yeah.
that's like, but you know.
It was just there was this final part again. I'll be careful what to say, but there was just this final part in the book which was really like actually quite heartwarming, and I was
Oh.
reading it with all these different emotions, loving the way they all wrapped up, and it was obviously answering all the questions that we would, you know, the reader would have. But then it was just actually quite emotional, and I have never got emotional over a thriller
Oh,
before.
I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased because I think that's like my book. The books that I always remember, the ones that have made me sort of like cry, or like have a lump. Like Lisa Jewell's "Then She Was Gone." I don't know if you've read that, but that had me like
No.
properly cry. Oh, that's brilliant. You'd love it. It made me properly cry at the end. And I think if you can have a book that makes you cry, even if
Yeah.
it's just, I think it just makes you remember it a bit more. I
Oh,
always
definitely.
remember it. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to do it for The Couple of Number 9. I thought, right, how can I? What can I do to pull at the heartstrings of this book?
And it was so good. It's
Oh, thank you.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore actually because I know what I'm like. I'll end up just diving straight in and being like, oh my god, you know, in this bit and this bit. So all I can say is, guys, I really highly recommend that one. It's a really good read, and actually, it's like it's always cold in the book, so that's perfect for this time of year.
I know. I think it's because because obviously for being British, the weather is always like, you know, quite a big thing for us, isn't it? It's always cold.
Yeah,
Or it feels like it's always cold. So, and I think in the thriller, having sort of I don't know, weather that's a little bit ominous, you know, like grey skies
yeah.
and rain, it makes it sound a bit more creepy. I think it sort of adds
Oh,
to
it
the
does.
atmosphere. It's what I like
Oh,
vibes in the book.
100%. I absolutely loved it. So, what has been your favourite book to write, or is that a hard question? Because I suppose it's like choosing a favourite child, maybe.
It's quite. I think I was saying this to some other authors. It's like every other book seems to be like an easier book to write. So I think
Yeah.
The Couple at Number Nine was easy. So I think with The Couple at Number Nine, the book that came out before that, which was Just Like the Other Girls, didn't do very well. It came out in COVID, and it
Mm.
didn't sell very well. It got lost on the shelves because everyone came out at the same time, because all the books were pushed back because of COVID, and so they all seemed to come
Yeah.
out at the same. So when I wrote The Couple at Number Nine, I thought I haven't really got anything to lose. Like, my
Mhm.
book's not really doing very well. I'm just going to write the book that I really want to read, and I think so. I've got a really soft spot for that book, because I think I just wrote what I really wanted without really thinking about anything else, because I just thought,
Yeah.
actually at that point I thought, is anyone ever going to read it anyway? Because and so I think that in that sense, I think that was my favorite book to write, because I wasn't self-conscious. I just wrote it. Um,
Mm.
and I also really enjoyed writing The Wrong Sister as well. And I think that was a similar thing, where it was about it's having similar sort of themes, I think, to The Covenant Number Nine, but also it had like a Venice section. So they go off on holiday to Venice at the beginning.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I've watched, I don't know if you've watched this film called Don't Look Now, which has got Donald Sutherland in it and Julie Christie. It's quite an old film, but it's
Okay.
set in Venice and like out of season, and something really creepy about it, about being in Venice out of
Yeah.
season. So I really wanted to have in a book Venice out of season. So I really enjoyed writing that part. So I think those two books have been my favourite to write, I think.
Have you been to Venice?
Yes, and when we
Oh,
went, we had a storm when we went, so it's like it really rained, and there was like a bin that got knocked over and went flying down the street. It was all very sort of like dramatic. It was in the summer, but for some reason
yeah.
they had like this weird storm, and so I do put that in the book. I have that. They have a storm as well, because it was quite atmospheric and quite sort of shocking.
Do you know,
Was it?
I make myself laugh sometimes, because when I write, because I've written some books, but like I just self-published. I'm just doing it
Oh,
really for like a
what
hobby.
sort? What genre are you writing? Are you?
Like kind of like romance, I guess.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when I write that, sometimes when I pick a setting where I want this to be, like say like I pick somewhere, like one of my books was set in Tennessee, and I've never
Oh,
been to Memphis, Tennessee in my life. So I end
ah.
up on YouTube, like like when people add in like the walk around videos.
Oh,
I'm like
yes.
I'm like doing that, trying to absorb as much of Memphis as I can before I start writing. And I'm like, why do I keep picking places I've never been to in my life? Like,
It's so good you could do that nowadays, though, isn't it? It's so easy to like just be able to see it all
yeah,
on like Google Maps or whatever, and just imagine it. But
yeah,
yeah, I need to do that next time, actually, because I think there's some settings I quite like writing settings that's slightly different countries and things. So actually, it'd be quite nice to do that instead of having to
yeah.
actually ready to going to these places.
I know
Which is
it's
not.
not a bad idea at all, is it?
I
Really?
know. Yeah.
So, what do you enjoy reading as like a hobby?
So I think I do read quite a lot of thrillers as well. So I get a lot of
Oh,
proofs. Yeah, so I get a lot of like proof copies of books that haven't come out yet. And I got like a massive pile on the floor here. And I got some behind me there. Actually,
oh,
yeah. So I do read quite a lot of thrillers, but I also read. So I'm in a book club with some friends, and which is
yeah,
really good, because it gets me reading things that I wouldn't probably pick up. Like
yeah.
one of the books we read recently was The Wedding People. I don't know if you've read that book, but
No,
it wasn't a book that I would probably pick up. But oh my god, it was amazing. It's one of the best books I've read like for ages. It's so good.
yeah,
But we all loved it as well. But again, it's one of those things that it's quite hard to know what genre it is. It's probably like a book club sort of book.
yeah,
It's not really. It's not a thriller, but it's funny. It's got some funny bits, but it's also sad. Oh, it's just brilliant. Um, and so yeah, so I think being part of this book club has made me read things that I probably wouldn't necessarily choose, because I do normally go
mm,
to thrillers straight away.
yeah.
Um,
Same.
yeah, just because I think when you're used to, because I write those as well, like it's nice to see what other things are around. But
Yeah,
yes, I've read some really good books through my book club. And I also
yeah.
did like, Taylor Jenkins Reid, the Seven
Oh.
Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is brilliant.
Oh, I've got
Yeah.
that. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard some really amazing things on
Oh
that.
yeah.
So
That's brilliant.
I'm excited to get to that. My friends, I'm not in a book club, but my friends read different genres, and then because of them, they'll recommend things, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. Like for instance, I don't really like fantasy, but
Yeah.
they recommended a couple like The Fourth Wing and things like that.
Oh
So then I start reading it, and I'm like, oh, actually, it's
yes.
actually not bad, like, at
Yeah.
all. But
Yes, I've
It
not read any of those, and I really feel like, because so many people rave about them, don't they? Like loads of my friends read them, and I'm like,
yeah.
I really should. But they then tell me like the storyline, and I'm like, oh, it sounds really bizarre. But they're like
Yeah.
they did write it.
And then, but
Yeah.
as you read it, it becomes the norm. So you just
Yes.
kind of you
Yes.
just sink in.
Yeah. It's just like Game of Thrones, isn't it, or something like that? You know, just
Yeah.
becomes, yeah.
Would you write a Christmassy book?
Um, I think, yeah, I think I probably would actually. So Mark Edwards has written, I don't know if you know he writes sort of same sort of genre as me, like psychological thrillers, domestic thrillers, and he's got a brilliant book called The Magpies that came out like quite a few years ago now, which is about like nightmare neighbours. But he's
Mm.
just done a Christmas book called The Christmas Magpie, which is again about neighbour. It's like a novella, but it's brilliant. It's out at the moment.
Okay.
It's really, and it's about this couple who move in to this neighbourhood. Sorry, that was my. I don't know if you heard that. My text beeping. Yes, typical. They move into this neighbourhood, and it's like around Christmas time, and it's really good. And it made me think, actually, if I could think of an idea set around Christmas, I think I would like to do that. Maybe like a novella, like what he's done, like a sort of
Yeah.
small, yeah, story. I
Yeah.
think it'd be quite, yeah,
Because sometimes I think it gets this time of year, and then I always see people like reaching out on posts and stuff like online saying like, "Oh, can anyone recommend a
yeah,
Christmas book, but not romance or not this?" I'm like, "Oh, there's
yes.
definitely a market for more
Oh
Christmas thrillers."
yes, yeah. I think there is, and there's
Yeah,
not that many, is there? Like I can't think. I mean, obviously Mark's, but yeah, I think that's actually. I think you're right. I think that's a good way of sort of tapping into the Christmas thing. And also, there's something about thrillers at Christmas, because Christmas is like a happy time, and
yeah,
I think that's quite a good way of, and everyone's together. It can be a bit
yeah,
claustrophobic, there could be a
yeah,
murder, it's
yeah.
like
Exactly. Yeah, like a who done it.
yes, yeah,
Love that. So,
yeah.
are you a planner, or do you kind of just write? I mean, I suppose you don't just write and go with the flow, do you? Do you have to pre-plan quite heavily, or?
Well, I do. I'm probably more of a non-planner. Like, so I'll probably.
Oh,
I
I love
know.
that.
I know. I really wish I could see the book beforehand.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but I can't. I can't visualize the whole book, so I have to have like the idea, like just a rough idea,
Yeah.
the twist, and the sort of know who the sort of culprit is, and that's sort
Mm,
of it really. Then I just sort of go in. Um,
yeah.
but I think it makes it, for me anyway, it makes it more interesting on one hand, not really knowing what's going to happen, but on the other hand, it makes the editing process quite difficult sometimes, because once you've written the whole
Yeah.
thing and you're like, oh, okay, this needs quite a bit of work now. um so it's a difficult one, but yeah, so I've never got to the stage where I plan it all out first.
Mm.
Do you do
Yeah,
that? I'm
'cause
not,
no,
yeah.
I am more of like a free flow when I
Mm.
write, because I will make notes, but I feel like sometimes you can write the chapter and then where you get like so sucked into it, then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, actually, do you know what'd be a really good idea? Like you get so absorbed into your own story that you get better ideas as you go,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like.
yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them come to me as I'm writing. Like a lot of
Yeah.
twists come to me, little, or like like I might have the big twist, but having the sort of end twist or one of the end twists that always comes to me as I'm
Mm.
writing it. Suddenly, yeah, the characters become more alive, don't they? Little things happen. You think, oh yeah, little like sort of subplots, which I couldn't wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
think about first.
And it's interesting like that, because then you didn't know what you were going to write, and it just kind of happens, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely keeping that in. I love
Yes.
that. So
Yes. Yeah.
I do enjoy that.
It makes it fun, doesn't it? It makes it fun as a writer.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure what's going to happen yourself when you're writing it, but it makes it more
Have
interesting.
have you ever read a book? I don't know. Have you seen Friends, the TV
Yes,
show?
yes,
Right.
oh,
You know in Friends where Joey gets scared of the book The Shining
oh
and he puts
yes,
the book
yes.
in the
Put it in the
freezer.
fridge. Yes.
Have you ever read a book that's scary?
I was a bit of a wuss when I was younger. So my sister loved Stephen King books. I was always too scared to read
Oh,
them. I know. So
yeah.
she was always reading, like, even when she was quite young, she was reading like Pet Cemetery and all these really scary ones. And I was like, I can't read them. I was always reading romances and things. I wanted to read something nice. I don't want to read.
Yeah,
I can't believe I didn't write in thrillers really, because I was like, I don't want to read anything really scary. And then I think I read a James Herbert book once, which really frightened me. I can't remember which one it was, and it wasn't rats. I think he wrote the bats, didn't he? But it was something really frightening that I was like, this is. It would really scare me. Actually, I
Mhm.
mean, but this was more horror, I suppose, rather than just thrillers. Um,
Yeah.
but now as I've got older, I quite enjoy being scared, but like not
Yeah.
too scared. So I still
Not too scared, yeah.
yeah, but not. I don't really read horror. I don't know if you do, but I like if it's too gory or
Yeah.
too. I'm a bit, or if it's too, almost if it's too realistic, if it's too,
Yeah.
you want it to be a little bit like, yeah, I'm not very good at reading anything too, like I hate
Yeah.
things about home intruders, like,
Yes, yeah.
things like that, like things that you think, oh god, like it's a bit too close to the bone, too
Yeah,
close.
because you'll be like laying in bed reading it, you'll hear a noise, you'll
Yeah,
be like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
what's that?
yes,
I've
so,
I've become a plot in this book somehow."
yes, I know. So yeah,
So
so that's things I want to read.
so I'm the same. I don't deep dive into horror too much, but I did read one recently called Ask for Andrea, and that was
Oh, I've heard of that.
probably yes, it was about a serial killer. He was a married man and he had children. And on the surface, he seemed like a normal-ish guy, but he was actually you know, obviously murdering women. And
Right.
in the chapter, I can see it building up, and I was actually scared reading it. Like, oh my god, no! Please tell me she gets away. And it's like,
Yeah.
how you scream at the TV? It's like that, but I'm screaming at the book.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
please don't go out there. And then you skip a
Yeah.
chapter. Like, you turn the page, you're like, oh, she went out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Damn it. So that was probably like as scary as I'm willing to go at the moment,
Yes.
because
Yes. Yeah. I'm
otherwise,
the same.
the books will end up in the freezer otherwise.
I know. I'm the same. I'm like, yeah, there's a certain thing that I'm like, yeah, just like with Dexter. I don't know if I watched Dexter, not Dexter,
Mhm.
Luther, and it was the one
Oh, I
where
love Luther.
I know, but I had to stop watching it because I got really. There was a series where the man would hide under the bed of the woman's flat when he would hide under the bed
Yeah,
when he got home, and it freaked me out so much that I was like, I can't carry on watching the series. I was
yeah.
too scared. It was almost too realistic. I was like, I don't want to be checking under the bed when I get home from anywhere.
I so agree. I remember it was my husband that said, "Oh, let's watch Luther. It's about this, police officer, like detective guy." And I thought, "Oh, okay, that sounds like, nice and easy, like The Bill." But
Yeah,
it was nothing
yeah,
like The
yeah.
Bill. It was so creepy. There was like
It's
that guy with the weird mask and all sorts.
I know that it is. It's too scary. I had to stop
Yeah.
watching it. But everyone goes on about how brilliant it is, and I'm like, I'm too scared to watch it.
Yeah, yeah, I have to watch with the lights on or something.
Yeah.
Um, but so did you know you always wanted to write, or is it did it just sort of happen that way, or?
Yes, no, I always wanted to write. So even when I was like young, I used to write, like at home, I used to write stories. Used to make little books, like when I was like 7 or 8, like with paper and like do this sort of like staples down the side and do a little front cover.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I used to love doing that. So then I became a journalist because I thought I needed to do something. I needed to write as a job.
Yeah.
So I was a journalist for quite a few years, writing like human interest stories, like features for magazines, but I always wanted to write fiction,
Mm.
but I tried and I sent off my manuscripts to agents and got rejected and all the things. And then
Yeah.
when I was about in my late 30s, I saw a competition for Marie Claire magazine that they wanted the first 2 chapters of a contemporary. They just said a contemporary book. They didn't say a thriller
Yeah.
necessarily. There's like a contemporary book, and the first 2 chapters was a synopsis. And so I sent off this book. I didn't just start writing it, and I thought I'm just going to send it off because I'd already written this other book, which was more of a sort of like rom-com. But
Mm.
I'd been like doing that for like 2 years, and I'd sort of got by the end of it, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if this is the right book. So I started writing this other book, which was more of a thriller. And I just thought, I'm just going to send these first 2 chapters. I'm just going to send them, and then I didn't hear anything for about 2 or 3 months, and then I got a phone call from Marie Claire to say, well, they rang me and said, oh, it's Marie Claire magazine. And I remember thinking, why are they ringing me? Like, I haven't got a subscription to Marie Claire magazine. And then they were like, I completely forgot. They're like, you entered the competition. And I was like, yes. They said, well, you've won. I was so shocked. I couldn't believe it. And then the competition, the prize was a publishing contract with HarperCollins. So that's how I got into publishing. So yeah, it was just one of those really bizarre things because
That's
I'd gone,
incredible.
yeah, I'd entered competitions before, not even got anywhere, like not even got on the long list or
Mm.
anything. So for this to be, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So that, and then through that competition, I met my agent, um, and then yeah, and so then from then on, it just yeah, I've been really lucky. I think to get that foot in the door was really
Yeah.
just really good for me because it's that hard to get that first, isn't it, to get that first break.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was amazing.
I love who designed your book covers. I absolutely love how mysterious they always look so. For instance, the girl who disappeared. I'm looking at that right
Oh yeah,
now. That looks
yes,
so good. The little
I love
cabin
that.
out there.
Yes, yeah, I think that's one of my favorite covers of mine, actually. I just love the colours. The cabin. It actually,
So good.
yeah, I think it is. I think she's called Lee, and she's Michael Joseph, Penguin. So she,
Oh,
yeah, she
wow.
designs all of them. So it's really, I think that what they do. I think my editor said that they like look for the house I write about, and they sort of try to source it, and try to sort of do it around.
Oh,
Yeah. So each book is the house from the story. So
that's really
like the girls,
cool.
yeah. So the girls disappeared is the cabin. So they've done a cabin,
Yeah.
and it started. So the Couple at Number Nine was the first book to do that, because I sort of got
Mm.
rebranded slightly as the Couple at Number Nine, and then since then they've all followed the same sort of pattern, um, the same font and everything. Yeah, so it's really so you can sort of. I think it's nice because it means it's sort of branded. It's like you can sort of tell they're my
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say. And then you kind of with like the font and everything else all kind of being the same. Then it's kind of like if you're in the works or like a bookshop, you can kind of
Yes.
see something in the corner of your eye and you sort of know, oh, that's a Claire Douglas book.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
because it's kind of got its theme now, hasn't it?
It has. I know, and I love that. I really love that. That sort of worked. Like I can see
Yeah.
them all. I'm like, yeah, they all look. They're sort of all similar but different. Yeah.
So do you think you'll branch out into any more genres, or do you feel like this is you now? Like this is where you're comfortable because
Yes.
you're smashing this.
I think I think it's yeah, I do feel comfortable with this because I sort of feel like they're thrillers, but because I think I read a lot of like women's fiction, and like romance and like
Yeah.
romantic comedies, like I sort of feel like it marries the two. I mean, they're not romantic, they're not funny, but they've got that relationships in them, like
Yeah.
sort of families. I sort of wanted it to be more domestic, I suppose.
Yeah.
Setups like the one I've got, it's about sort of like a toxic relationship. I like writing things like that, so the thriller element is sort of part of it, but it
Mm.
also comes from being interested in like people and relationships, and with family and sisters, and
Yeah.
boyfriends, and so that type of thing. So I think I do enjoy writing that, so I think whatever I wrote would still have to have those elements to it, I think. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so enjoyable because me and my friends, we always sort of land on this sort of genre too, and we
Yeah.
start the book at the same time, and then straight away we're in the group chat like, I think it's such and such, or I think this is something. So we all try and figure it out, and I think it makes
Love
it
that.
so fun.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, what I think is really cool for authors at the moment is so many books are being taken to like adaptions, aren't they?
I
Like
know. So
whether
exciting.
it's Netflix, yeah,
Yeah,
TV, film.
yes.
I
I've
mean,
just I've just watched Andrea Mara's All Her Fault, which is brilliant. If you've seen that, it's a really good adaptation.
no, I haven't yet.
It's very good. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I know. So that. I mean, it's exciting to think that
Mm.
could happen. Yeah. So I've got a few
It,
of mine in the pipeline, but nothing has been greenlit yet. So I've got like options on some of mine.
oh,
Yes. But they're not they're like some of them are in paid development, but none are greenlit yet. So
yeah.
fingers crossed. So that would be great.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? I love that. I feel like it's so exciting when a book gets taken to screen because you can almost get something else from it. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's you have this idea, and when you read a book, you always have an idea and you have the vision, and then when it gets taken to TV, sometimes it's obviously the same story being told, but you can kind of see it from like a different
Yes, from
perspective
different. Yes,
almost.
yes. I think that's
Mm.
the exciting thing about TV, because I think if one of my books was on TV, I think it'd be their interpretation of the book. So it wouldn't necessarily be exactly like the book, but it would be, their interpretation of it. So I think that would be really interesting to watch, because I
Oh
think I could
yeah,
separate.
definitely.
Yeah, I think I could separate it to myself and think like, okay, this is like my book, but it's not. It's not exactly like my book, sort of
Mm.
thing. Like um, to see how they've done it would be really interesting, I think.
So what would be your choice? What would be your book to go to screen if you could choose?
I don't know. I think probably either the girls have disappeared or the couple at
Yeah.
number 9. I think. I think the girls have disappeared would be quite atmospheric because of the small town. It's like a standing stones, like mystical sort of like town where they live. But the couple at number 9 has got the whole backstory, like giving it
Yeah.
away, the whole backstory, which I think would be. So yes, but I think the wrong sister too, maybe. Yeah, to be honest,
Mm.
any. I'd be happy with any. Any. But yeah.
The couple at number 9, I can almost just imagine, the opening scene of like a dug up garden and and
Yes,
all sorts
yes,
going on.
yes.
You you can really see that, and you can see people like drawing people in with that. That'd be so good.
Oh, it would be great. It would be amazing to see some, yeah, one day, hopefully. But I know how hard it is, and I hear authors who've had options, and they might have had it made now, but it's taken 10 years, or so you sort of think it can take a long time. I think.
Yeah. Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. But how exciting to even have these
Yes.
discussions, because I
Yeah.
just, when you've put something, all this effort into like this amazing book, and then somebody says, "Oh, actually, we might want to do this in the future." Oh, I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to sleep ever. I'd be too
Yes.
excited.
Yeah. So excited.
So, Christmas is round the corner,
I know. Gosh, I
very
can't believe.
close.
Yes.
What do you do at Christmas? Like, what's sort of like your traditions, if you have any, or do you just wing
Yeah.
it?
I think we just wing it. Most of the time, we normally have like family. So my parents are divorced, so I normally either see my mum on Christmas Day, then my dad on Boxing Day, or
Hmm.
vice versa. So and then with my kids and my husband as well. So I think this year with my mum is coming over. So it'll be really relaxed and really nice. Yeah, it's
Nice.
always like we watch a lot of TV. We're looking forward to watching the next Stranger Things. Me and the
Oh
kids.
yeah, yeah. Oh, my son's just started. Have you not started yet?
Yeah, so we watched the first 4,
Oh.
and then they've got the next ones coming out. I think it's Boxing Day. Um, so
Oh.
we binge watched. They only like dropped the first 4, which is annoying because I'm like, I want to watch all of it right now.
Yeah.
So so we have to wait now until December the 26th, I think. But yeah, so the first 4 were really good. So yeah, so we're looking forward to watching that, and I think Emily in Paris, all the things like that. Emily in
Oh
Paris
yeah.
is on, which I love. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching lots of TV, lots of reading. I think sometimes time to be able to read because it's like you're not working and you can actually properly have a chance to sit and read.
Yeah.
And so
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what I'm looking forward to.
Have your parents read your books?
My dad, I don't think has. Because
Mm.
he doesn't he did read a lot when he was younger, but he's got like an eye problem. So I keep saying
Mm.
to him, you should listen to audiobooks, and he won't for some reason. I get like, you need to listen to them. And that audiobooks is really good, but he's a bit anti audiobooks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe just because he loved reading so much. I think when he was younger, I think he finds the whole thing. But I
It's
said
a
it's a
bit
really good way.
bit too new, maybe, or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he. And so no, I don't think he's read mine. And then my mum does. My mum's one of my first readers. I always send her the first. So after it's been copy edited, like once it's been sort of copy edited and proofread, I ask her to then read it as well because she's quite
Yeah.
good at picking out things. When I'm trying to pick out the sort of proofreading bit at the end, she's quite good at picking out stuff. So I always say to her,
Oh
"Can you?"
wow.
Yeah, so she reads it quite early. Her and my sister are the sort of ones to read it first, really, out of family.
Oh,
Um,
that's
yeah,
lovely.
yeah. So
See, I mean, I wouldn't ask my dad to read my books because they being obviously in the romance genre, I did have a few spicier scenes, and I was like, I just cannot. I was like, "You're banned, Dad, never." But
yeah,
then I wrote a book that wasn't like that at all. It was more about well, it was kind of more like oh god, the word has escaped me. What's the word called when you kind of write a book about yourself and your experiences?
oh yeah, like more of a autobiographical sort of book, was it more?
Yeah, like a memoir sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So like that. So I wrote that about mental health and being in a mental health unit when I was a teenager.
right.
So after a month of that coming out, my dad said, "Oh, Chloe, I think I'm going to read your book if that's okay." And I was like, "Yeah, there's no spicy scenes in that. Go to town." And then he read it and he texted me like a few days later and he was like, "I'm so proud of you." He was like, "That was really well written." Um,
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
what a
nice.
great book, and I was so proud. Like,
Oh, that's so
I don't know, there's
lovely.
there's something about your parents sometimes just, giving you that
Yeah,
like extra boost that you just love it, don't you?
yeah. So lovely. That's so nice. Yeah, that's lovely.
Yes. So now it's made me think maybe next time I'll write more things that he can actually read. But where's the fun in that?
I'd be a bit because not mine's got that much spicy stuff, but they're the odd thing, and I'm like, oh, like I was reading it just makes it a bit.
Yeah. So, any big plans for 2026?
Well, so my new book will be coming out in March 2026, which is called The Family Friend.
Yep.
And, which I'm just finishing off now, just going through the last proofread of that. So that would be my next book. And then I have to start writing the next one in January, I think. I haven't started yet.
Oh,
I know, I'm a bit like, so I tried to write from January to July or August, then that's my first draft, and then I give it to my editor, and then we spend the next 5 months editing it and polishing it. Yeah, so
with these ideas, do they just come to you, or do you have to sometimes really sit down and have a little think about what it is you want to write?
yeah, sometimes I do have to think about it. Like some ideas come quite quickly. Like the Covenant Number 9, that came quite quickly because I was the journalist. I did a story where I covered where this woman and this man and woman had just moved into their new house, and they were doing a dig in the basement to do their pitching, and they found a body, like a skeleton. It was dating back to
Yeah.
Roman times, so it was like, but that made me think, oh, imagine if that had been, like a more recent body, and
Yeah.
get that idea. But sometimes I do have to sort of sit and think, right, what am I going to write? Like I have to watch, or maybe watch films, something to get, my creativity.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I don't always like with this next one. I'm about to write. I have got a gem of an idea, but I haven't.
Mhm.
I need to sort of think it through a little bit. But I start with like a gem of an idea, and I think, right, okay, I need to sort of put some flesh on its bones type thing before I start writing. So I need to have a little bit of an idea of what I want to say
Yeah.
before I start. And I need to know the twist. And I sort of know the twist with this one, but I just need to cement it a little bit before I start writing. I
Yeah.
also need to develop my character to make sure she is on board with it. But it's quite
Mm.
exciting, that bit, isn't it? I think when you get a new idea, I always find it's quite exciting, that first. I quite
Yeah.
like stuff, yeah.
Sometimes I've even had a dream, and it's so like we wake up in a dream and you're like, oh, that's so good. I want to go back to sleep and finish the dream and see what happens, but you never
Yeah,
can. So sometimes I
I
think
know.
I could use that idea though, and then kind of
Yeah.
do my own ending. Like I love it when that happens. I mean, it's not very often because quite often I dream about weird things. Like I once dreamt I gave birth to Chucky, the horror doll, the killer doll.
Oh,
I know. I once
that's
dreamt that. So I couldn't put that in a book. That'd be a bit strange. But
so clever.
sometimes, sometimes little things come up. You never know.
I know, I wish I could remember my dreams. I do, like you. I wake up sometimes and think, oh my goodness, and then I go back to sleep, but then I forget. I should try and get a little notebook like that. So some people do, I
Yeah,
think.
that is a good idea. Have a little notebook to hand.
Yeah.
So, thinking of Christmas though, what sort of Christmas movies do you like? If have you got a favourite?
I do love the Gremlins. I think that
Do
is,
you?
yeah, the first one. I love that
Yeah.
film. I actually watched that last year, I think, for the first time with my kids. I think we liked it too because it's got this sort of dark humour, isn't it? Even though it's like
Yeah.
scary. Um, and so I think that's always one I like to watch at Christmas. And then there's like I watched it with my kids, like Elf and all those types of ones. And I know not everyone likes Love Actually, and I don't love every storyline in Love Actually, but it's
Yeah.
one of those films that we still end up watching. Because I do
Mm.
love Emma Thompson's storyline. I think she's so good in
Oh,
that.
it's
Yeah,
such an amazing. I mean, her scene. We were talking about this the other
I
day
know.
on another pod, and it's just such a. Oh, I don't know. That scene just gets you. I think,
I
especially as you
know.
get older, because you
Yes.
really relate more, and you really understand the fact that this isn't just
Yeah.
about her husband. This is her whole life.
Yeah.
This is her
I know.
children and everything. And it's
Yeah.
just it's so sad.
She's trying to like before she gets downstairs and faces the kids, and she's trying to. Oh, it's just it's so brilliantly acted and just it's just brilliant. But yeah, so that will always be one
So
that
good.
we always end up watching.
Um, Oh, well, Claire, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and having this chat with me. I so appreciate it. I've absolutely loved reading The Couple at Number 9, so I'm really excited to read more and just to have a little chat with you. Just it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
For having me on. It's been lovely to talk to you.
So I hope you have a really good one and a very good 2026.
Oh, thank you so much, and you as well. Have a good
Thank you
Christmas.
so much. Right, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you later.
Oh, thanks so much, Chloe. Thanks for having me on.